I guess the best thing I can say is that once you get started, you'll find the urge to keep going, and you don't really understand it. And some of the brethren have talked about those kind of experiences. But how in the world could I ever have expected to find this marriage certificate? It really found me, and by a very circuitous route. It's the original parchment marriage certificate of John Marshall being married to Margaret Alexander Wood in Scotland. And there was some doubt in our minds as to her exact name and whether this was the right connection. But when we got this, it removed all doubt. And this came to me through a cousin of mine on mother's side of the family. Her brother had gone to California to help the attorneys settle the estate of an aunt of hers. And 23 years later, they sent a package of papers home to her brother, and he gave it to Carol and said, "You figure out who ought to have these things." And she started looking through them and found these things, found the Marshall name showing up over and over and over. And so she got on in the church's records and found that Paul Willard, brother to the Willard down here, Bob Willard, lived next door almost in the same little town up there in Caseville. And she called Paul and said, "I've got this stuff that you'd be interested in." And he said, "Well, you better talk to my cousin Blaine." So the cousin from my mother's side contacts a cousin from my dad's side. They put these together and got these parchment certificates. So it was kind of a long way around through an attorney's office in California.
Who gave them to the attorney?
The attorney got them because they were part of this, I can't think of her name right now, but part of this lady's estate that they thought maybe were important to settling the estate. She died without children. She had no children, but she was an aunt to my cousin on dad's side.
Oh, okay.
So because Ken had gone down to help them with the estate, he thought he could be some help, or they thought he could be some help. And they figured, well, we don't need this. We don't want to store it anymore. We'll get rid of it. So they sent it to him.
Oh, wow.
And his sister called me and said, "You'd be interested." Yes, I was interested.